Today, I'm very lucky to have an interview with the Counteracts, who will release their new album Caricature shortly. Thank you very much that you answer my questions. For those who don't know you yet, it would be nice if you could introduce yourself briefly.
Hi Martina, this is Doug Smith of the Counteracts. Lovely to be able to talk to you, and thanks for doing this interview with us. The Counteracts are a duo of songwriters who are Simon J. Biscoe, who does lead vocals and bass, and me, I'm Doug Smith, keyboards and backing vocals.
Well, how long have you both been on the music journey and how did it all start? For example, did you play in a school or college band?
We both got interested in music at school and were in bands while we were there. Simon remained in his school band on and off through the years, and he also played live with a couple of covers bands. I was a classically trained pianist when I was at school, started about the age of 8, but I didn't play an instrument seriously for about a 30-year gap until 2010. So you could say our musical journey has been 40 plus years, but with many interruptions.
And how did it come that you wanted to make music together?
In 2015, I joined a band that Simon was already in, and Simon had some songs that he'd written, but the band didn't feel they were right for them. Well, I liked them, so we both recorded 2 of these songs, and we released them as a side project, which we named The Counteracts. And the reaction we got was so good that we decided to carry on with more songs as The Counteracts, as the original band we were both in started to implode around this time.
So, when you work on new songs, is it always harmonious or there are sometimes disagreements too?
It is usually very harmonious, believe it or not, as we bring different strengths to the band. Simon is very good with words and melodies, and I'm more on the arrangement, musical side, and I can hear what he needs in my head. So we normally get to a point where we are both happy with our areas of expertise. We write both separately and together, but we always collaborate on each other's songs, so it's a really good team effort.
What would you say your music is influenced by?
Simon is a huge Beatles fan and also likes the Kinks, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, and the B-52s. My favourite bands are Yes, Genesis, and Queen, and I also like 1980s electronic music.
Well, you're producing some cover songs, which are without a doubt great. How did you come up with that?
Cover songs. Well, when we started, we didn't have a lot of our own songs, so we decided to release one song a month, alternating between originals one month and then covers the next. It was a fun thing to do, as we only chose to cover songs that we both liked, but it was also a good discipline, as we got to learn how musicians who we greatly admired wrote their songs, and it was also great practice for us as well.
A question that cannot be avoided in times of social media. What do you think about it, and how active are you on Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms?
Social media is Simon's area, and we have a Counteracts page on both Twitter and Facebook, and we've also got a separate fan page on Facebook called The Counterettes, which is a more fun-based place where we can just chat and have a laugh with our fans and friends.
Do you think that streaming services are rather harmful to the music business? And if you had the chance, what would you generally want to change in the music industry?
With streaming services, it depends where you are in the music hierarchy. Professional artists are understandably unhappy with streaming services because they are losing revenue streams because of them. But thankfully, the counteracts aren't in it for the money. So for us, it's all about getting heard on as many platforms as possible. So we're generally in favour.
You are an independent artist, so where do you see the advantages and what are the disadvantages?
Now there's one. We would like to rid the world of auto-tune and manufactured bands and music and allow real talent to flourish. There's a whole host of brilliant independent and unsigned artists out there, but the general public are just fed a diet of processed, formulaic music. Now, I'll get down off my soapbox now I've got that off my chest. The advantages are we can work at our own pace and no one tells us what to do, which is great. The disadvantages are we have to do our own networking, marketing, promotion, mixing and mastering between the 2 of us, which are all things that take us away from the main area that make us tick, which is writing and playing.
Are there certain artists you adore and would like to be on stage with?
Oh, definitely. Simon would love to be the fifth Beatle, and I would like to be the second Freddie Mercury.
And what are you doing in your free time? Do you have hobbies that you pursue and you still have time for leisure activities?
Yeah, we have time for hobbies. Simon collects vintage memorabilia, including radios and record players, and he likes to play vinyl by stars of the 50s and 60s on the turntables. And I'm currently a presenter on two different internet radio stations. One of my shows I play a mix of genres, and the other one I dedicate to progressive rock, which is my favourite genre of music.
You will be releasing your new album shortly. Were there any special things while working on it? And how excited are you about new releases?
The best thing about this album is that we actually wrote half of the songs together, whereas the songs on the first album were mainly ones that Simon had written with his previous songwriting partner. We're very excited about the release as it's been over 2 years since the last album, and we can't wait to show everyone how much we've developed in that time.
I have to say that the cover art for the new album is very cool and interesting. Who had the idea and why this one?
Yeah, well, I was at a wedding last year and they had a guy going around who the bride and groom had booked. He was going around with a sketch pad and doing doodles of all the guests. It just took him about 5 minutes to do. So I brought mine home, and when Simon saw it, he suggested we get in touch with the artist, and he was really up for doing an album cover because he hadn't done one before. And we're really pleased with the result. His name is Rich Nairn, and he is known online as the Artful Doodler.
My last question is what's next for you? Are you planning the next album, new singles, or any appearances as soon as this is possible again?
Well, we'll be releasing new songs from the album over the next coming months that people haven't heard already. There are no plans for the next album as yet, but I'm sure we'll start writing a new lot of songs before too long, as it's what we enjoy doing.
Thank you very much for the interview, and I wish you much success and luck with everything that may come, and hope that we will hear a lot from you. I'm pretty sure about that.
It was our pleasure, Martina, and may we just offer you our sincere thanks for the interest and support you have shown to the Counteracts, as well as being such a great ambassador for independent music in general. We're very grateful. Thank you very much, Martina. Goodbye, and goodbye to all the listeners.